Have you ever dreamt of being someone who someone can't stop thinking about, a constant presence in their mind, an insatiable desire? If the answer is yes, then get ready to uncover the secrets that can turn this dream into reality. And trust me, we're not talking about magic tricks or cheap gimmicks, but a perfect blend of profound Stoic philosophy and scientifically proven psychological principles. In this video, I won't just share, but I'll guide you through 8 incredibly effective psychological strategies, tricks that will help you become a magnet, attracting all eyes and igniting intense desire from the person you desire. And even more special, at the 8-minute mark, you'll gain access to the golden key, the crucial factor determining the success of every strategy I share. So make sure you don't miss a single moment, because any of these tips could be the turning point that completely changes your game of love. Forget about bombarding them with messages or excessive attention, things that can make you boring and predictable. Instead, allow yourself to become something special, a hidden gem that others must be curious about. Strive to discover and conquer. And above all, never forget to cherish your own worth. Because, my friend, nothing is more important in any relationship than loving and respecting yourself. If you find these videos helpful, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any valuable content in the future. Together, we'll continue this journey of exploring the fascinating secrets of love and relationships. Now, get ready to step into the world of captivating psychological strategies, where you'll learn how to become someone that someone can't stop thinking about. Number 1. The art of absence. In today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of constant presence, trying to fill every gap with interactions, words, and actions. However, sometimes it's absence that creates a unique allure, making others miss you and crave your presence more than ever. Imagine a breathtaking landscape painting. It's not just about vibrant colors, but also the subtle white spaces that create balance and highlight the overall beauty. Similarly, in relationships, intentional absence can have a powerful effect, making others recognize your value and desire your presence more. A psychological study from the University of Virginia has shown that people tend to appreciate relationships more when there are gaps between encounters. Even a brief absence can trigger feelings of longing and make people cherish their connections more. This is a testament to the scarcity effect, where something becomes more valuable simply because it's not always available. Think of a talented comedian. If he's constantly on stage, the audience will gradually lose their enthusiasm and no longer find his performances special. But if he only performs on special occasions, each appearance becomes a highly anticipated event. Similarly, being constantly available can make others take your presence for granted. In contrast, when you know how to create pauses, your presence becomes special and cherished. This doesn't mean you have to disappear completely from someone's life. Instead, seek a balance between presence and absence. Give others space and time to miss you, to realize that you're not something they can easily take for granted. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "True strength lies in silence. It speaks louder than 1,000 words." Sometimes, you don't need to say or do anything. Silence alone can convey a powerful message, so learn to master the art of absence. Let others feel your absence so they can appreciate the moments when you're present even more. In this way, you not only make them miss you, but also crave your presence more intensely than ever. Remember, in love and life, sometimes it's the empty spaces that create the most beautiful music, the most perfect paintings, and the deepest relationships. And number 2, prioritizing in-person connections. We live in a world where smartphones have become an extension of our hands, helping us stay connected, organized, and even entertained. However, when this little device starts to come between us and genuine human connections, it's time to reevaluate how we interact. Today, I want to share with you the importance of prioritizing in-person meetings and how it can make you more memorable and desired. While this may sound a bit stoic, trust me, there's a lot of ancient wisdom embedded in it. Imagine you're sitting in a cafe with a friend, but they're looking at their phone more than they're looking at you. You feel invisible, right? Now, reverse the scenario. You're fully present in a conversation with no distractions. The connection becomes deeper, more authentic, and when they leave, they'll remember you. Not because you said something extraordinary, but because you were genuinely present. It's that simple. The key is to use your mobile phone as a tool to arrange meetups, not to replace them. Of course, texting and calling are useful, but they shouldn't be the core of a relationship. Elements like smell and touch play a vital role in our interactions. A warm hug, the scent of a favorite perfume, a shared laugh in person. These are things that can't be replicated through a screen. To make someone miss you and crave your presence, you need to be like a hidden treasure, something valuable and not always readily available. When you prioritize in-person meetings, you create unique and memorable experiences. A coffee date, a walk together, a hug, all become moments that leave a lasting impression. Think about it. Relationships are like a tree, needing water, sunlight, and most importantly, time. Text messages are like drops of water, enough to keep the tree alive, but not enough for it to blossom. In-person meetings are like sunlight. Without it, the tree will never be able to show its true beauty. Science backs this up too. A study from Harvard University revealed that face-to-face interactions are essential for psychological well-being and happiness. Researchers found that people who have regular in-person encounters report higher levels of happiness and less loneliness. This is because face-to-face interactions activate areas in the brain associated with reward and empathy, creating a deeper emotional connection. So next time you feel like sending a quick text, pause and ask yourself, can I do this in person? If the answer is yes, do it. Schedule a coffee date, a walk, anything that involves being truly present with that person. And don't worry about always being available. Constant availability can diminish your value. If you're always at their fingertips, what motivation do they have to seek a deeper connection? Remember, absence can make the heart grow fonder. Let them miss you a little. Crave your physical presence. Don't be an open book lying on the coffee table. Be the book kept on the highest shelf waiting to be rediscovered. Number 3. Be patient in love. This third piece of advice revolves around a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of love: patience. Don't let your heart rule your head. Don't rush into love before you truly understand the other person. It might sound a bit stoic and even rigid, but trust me, it makes perfect sense. Imagine you're shopping for something important like a car. You wouldn't just buy the first one you see, right? You'd take the time to research its features, compare different models, and even take it for a test drive before making a final decision. Love is no different. Don't be fooled by flashy appearances or fleeting emotions. Take the time to explore the inner workings of the person. Understand their values, dreams, fears, and what matters to them. A lasting relationship is built on a foundation of deep understanding and empathy. It's like a house, needing a solid foundation to withstand life's storms. And to build that foundation, you need time, patience, and genuine conversations. Ask yourself, do you share the same core values? Can you envision a future together? These questions not only help you understand the other person better, but also allow you to assess whether this relationship has the potential for long-term growth. Psychologist Carol Dweck from Stanford University also emphasizes the importance of a growth mindset in relationships. According to her, people who view relationships as an ongoing process of learning and development are more likely to succeed. This means taking the time to understand and accept both the strengths and weaknesses of your partner, rather than rushing to judgment or expecting perfection from the start. Now, let's talk about making someone miss you and crave you. It might sound like manipulation, but it's really about self-respect and creating balance in the relationship. Have you ever noticed how your morning coffee tastes better when you don't have it every day? Similarly, in love, maintain your independence, continue pursuing your passions, and don't lose yourself in the other person. Give both of you space. Don't rush to answer every text or be available 24/7. This not only makes you more desirable, but also allows you to evaluate if this person truly deserves your time and emotions. Remember, love isn't a game. It's a journey of discovery and nurturing. Constant presence can become overwhelming and make people take you for granted. Instead, be an intriguing book, a mystery waiting to be unfolded, so that the other person is always curious and eager to learn more about you. Patience in love, though not always easy, is a vital ingredient for building a deep and lasting connection. Understand the person before giving your heart fully, and always maintain a balance between presence and independence. That's the key to creating a genuine love where both of you feel cherished and happy. Number 4. Always be rational in every situation. Love, one of the deepest emotions a person can experience, often carries with it both joy and pain. However, when faced with love, the most important thing is not to let despair, impulsiveness, or impatience take the lead. Stoic philosophy advises us that in any situation, including love, we need to maintain a calm, rational mindset and keep our emotions in check. According to Stoic philosophy, love should not be a state of complete dependence on another person. Rather, it is an act of choice and consciousness. Love is not about surrendering your heart to someone else, but about learning to love with moderation, self-control, and reason. Never let love disturb the peace of your soul. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." This applies clearly to love, where suffering often arises from overestimating or placing too much expectation on another person. Imagine you are in a relationship and your partner does not reply to your messages for an extended period. Despair and insecurity can quickly overwhelm your mind, making you anxious, angry, or sad. But instead of letting these emotions dominate, Stoic philosophy advises us to pause, take a deep breath, and think rationally. Does worrying or getting angry really help solve the problem? In most cases, the answer is no. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus only on what we can control and what is beyond our control, such as the actions or emotions of others, should not be allowed to affect our spirit excessively. Another example where this can be applied is when love comes to an end. Instead of falling into prolonged despair and suffering, view the breakup as a part of life, something inevitable and unchangeable. Marcus Aurelius, one of the Stoic philosopher emperors, once wrote, "All things will pass, and so will you." Love is also a part of this cycle. Instead of dwelling in sadness and blaming yourself or others, learn to accept reality, recognizing that all is merely a part of life and our existence. That is how you avoid being overwhelmed by the ups and downs of love. Not losing hope in love does not mean not loving deeply. It means loving with clarity and moderation. Do not cling to what does not belong to you or what you cannot control. Always remember that we can only control our own reactions, not those of others. Love, whether passionate or tender, should always be contextualized within a framework of awareness and self-reflection. Because ultimately, according to Stoic philosophy, happiness does not come from how much we have, but from how we respond to what is happening. Therefore, in love, do not despair. Let your soul be at peace. Embrace love with all its joy, but do not allow negative emotions to take control. Love with mindfulness, and always keep your heart and mind balanced. In doing so, no matter where love leads you, you will always maintain serenity and peace in your soul. And number 5, finding freedom within, the path to unforgettable connections. In the pursuit of leaving a lasting impression on someone's heart, it's essential to remember that true allure lies not in external validation or grand gestures, but in the cultivation of inner freedom, a principle deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. We often get entangled in the web of constant communication and the pressure to orchestrate frequent meetings, mistaking these for signs of a flourishing connection. However, the Stoics would urge us to shift our focus inward, to master our own thoughts and emotions. Instead of chasing after fleeting moments of external connection, strive to create a sanctuary of acceptance, a space where the other person feels safe, to shed their masks and reveal their true selves without the fear of judgment. Imagine yourself as a tranquil oasis amidst the arid desert of life, offering respite and solace from the relentless demands of the world. It is within this haven of peace that profound connections are forged. Just as a ship cannot sail smoothly while carrying the weight of past burdens, neither can we fully embrace the present if we're tethered to the ghosts of yesterday. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, you have no right to complain about the past, for it is gone, and you cannot change it. We all carry the baggage of past experiences, but we must learn to acknowledge them without allowing them to dictate our present reality. Embrace the past as a teacher, extract the wisdom it offers, and then gently set it aside. By focusing on creating meaningful moments in the present, you weave a tapestry of shared experiences that will forever be etched in their memory. True freedom also entails unwavering self-belief. Epictetus reminds us, what matters is not who you are, but who you think you are. Embrace your inherent worth, recognizing that perfection is an illusion. It is your authenticity, like a refreshing breeze on a sweltering day, that will draw others in and provide them with a sense of comfort and ease. When you are unapologetically yourself, you give others permission to do the same, fostering an environment of mutual acceptance and vulnerability. And it is within this sacred space that deep, genuine connections flourish, far surpassing any bond built on pretense or superficiality. Remember, the most unforgettable connections are born not from fleeting moments of intensity, but from the steady flame of authenticity, acceptance, and inner peace. Cultivate these qualities within yourself, and you'll become a beacon of light, drawing others towards you with an irresistible magnetism. Number 6, creating space for desire. Have you ever noticed that a subtle scent is more pleasant than an overpowering one that assaults your senses? Love and desire work in a similar way. It might surprise you, but sometimes less is more. Leaving a space in someone's heart, allowing them to miss you and long for you, is a delicate art. It doesn't mean disappearing completely, but rather giving them the time to feel your absence, which in turn awakens feelings of longing and desire to be with you again. Imagine yourself as a precious gem. If someone sees it all the time, its value diminishes in their eyes. But if it's kept safe and only brought out on special occasions, it will always shine brightly and be cherished. The same principle applies to relationships. Constant contact can erode the mystery and excitement, key elements in maintaining interest and desire. The key here is balance. Give the other person space to breathe. Don't always be readily available. If you're there every time they reach out, they'll take your presence for granted. Think of yourself as a good book that people want to savor slowly, page by page, to ponder and reflect upon, not devour in one sitting and then discard. Stoic philosophy teaches us to seek moderation in all things, and this should also be applied to your relationships. It's not about playing games, but about maintaining an air of mystery and individuality. A study by psychologist Sandra Murray at the University at Buffalo emphasized the importance of space in relationships. According to this research, couples who maintain a certain level of independence tend to experience higher levels of satisfaction and desire. A bit of distance allows each person time to reflect on their partner and appreciate their presence even more. Creating space isn't just about making someone miss you. It's also about giving yourself room to grow. When you have time for yourself, you can focus on your hobbies, passions, and personal goals. This not only makes you more interesting and attractive in the eyes of others, but also helps you build confidence and independence, qualities that are incredibly alluring. Remember, love is like a dance, requiring an interplay of closeness and distance. When you master the art of absence, you create an irresistible allure, making the other person constantly think of you and long to be by your side. Number 7. Don't cling to connections. On the journey of life, we often yearn for meaningful connections, as if each encounter were a rare oasis in a desert of loneliness. We cling to relationships, hoping they will fill the void within us and bring complete happiness. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us of a different approach. Don't cling to connections. Instead of clinging, cherish. As Epictetus once said, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will, then your life will flow well. Cherish the connections that come our way, but don't make our happiness entirely dependent on them. Remember, all relationships can change or end, and clinging to them only causes us suffering when change occurs. Seek inner peace. Instead of seeking fulfillment from external sources, look for it within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Cultivate your inner self, nurture your wisdom, and find joy in the simple things in life. When we can stand firmly on our own 2 feet, we can enjoy connections freely and sincerely, no longer bound by fear or expectations. Be like a garden. A flourishing garden doesn't solely rely on rain. It needs sunlight, fertile soil, and the gardener's care. Similarly, our happiness doesn't solely come from external connections. It requires inner nourishment, acceptance of what's beyond our control, and focus on what we can control, our thoughts and actions. When we achieve this, we become a vibrant garden, naturally attracting beautiful and meaningful connections. Number 8. Stop focusing on things beyond our control. Life often brings unexpected waves, things beyond our control. It could be a sudden downpour ruining a picnic plan, an abruptly canceled project, or a relationship that ends without warning. In those moments, it's easy to get caught in a whirlwind of disappointment, anger, and helplessness. We try to cling to and control things that are already out of our hands, only to realize that such efforts only increase our suffering. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the key to inner peace lies in accepting what we cannot control. Instead of focusing on what has happened or what might happen, let's focus on the present, on what we can control. Our thoughts and actions. Be like a captain steadfast amidst a storm, unable to control the wind's direction, but able to adjust the sails to navigate the ship through the waves. When we stop focusing on things beyond our control, we liberate ourselves from unnecessary worry and stress. We can then channel our energy towards positive things, towards personal growth and building a meaningful life. Remember, happiness is not a destination but a journey. And on that journey, accepting what we cannot control is a crucial step in finding true peace and freedom. In the end, the Stoic path to making someone who doesn't value you obsessed isn't about manipulation or control. It's about self-mastery and living a life of virtue. By focusing on what's within your control, your own thoughts, actions, and character, you cultivate an inner strength and peace that's undeniably attractive. You become the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for you. And paradoxically, this self-assuredness and lack of neediness can spark a desire in others, even those who previously didn't value you. Remember, we can't control the actions or feelings of others, but we can control how we respond to them. By embodying Stoic principles, we free ourselves from the chains of external validation and find true fulfillment within. This inner strength and self-love are magnetic, and often those who once overlooked us will find themselves drawn to the light we radiate. So let go of the need to make someone obsessed with you. Focus on your own growth and well-being. Live a life of virtue, embrace your true self, and let your light shine. In doing so, you may find that those who didn't value you before start to see you in a whole new light. But more importantly, you'll find a deeper sense of peace and happiness within yourself, regardless of external validation.